What's up everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to the greatest YouTube channel in the world for Uber and Lyft drivers, the Rideshare Hub, all right? No other channel has merch like this, okay? So if you think, you know, the Rideshare guy is better or Dustin is driving, not to call any names out, this is the best channel. No, I'm just kidding, those guys are great too. But today, I brought out my car here. You know, I wanted to flex on you guys a little bit, just kidding. But today I'm gonna be sharing 20 tips for new Uber drivers. So if you're a new Uber driver, these are 20 of the best tips for you to, you know, use while you're starting out driving, or even if you're an experienced driver. These are just good reminders to, you know, put in to the good old noggin here, right? All right, so here are the top 20 tips for new Uber drivers. All right, number one is when you pull up to pick up your passenger, maybe your first passenger, or if you're an experienced driver, is ask your passenger what their name is. So you never want to pull up and go, hey, are you Susie? And you know, that could easily be Beatrice. And she could just be like, yep, that's me. When people are drinking and stuff, they just get in the car. So you want to make sure you ask them, hey, what's your name? So that they can confirm with you what the correct name is. Tip number 2 is set a schedule. I know one of the greatest things about driving for Uber is that, you know, it's super flexible. You can drive 24 hours a day. You know, any time of day if you want, but it does help a lot if you do set a schedule. So you want to set your schedule around the peak times when it's most busy. That's during morning rush hour, during the week, evening rush hour, and then on the weekends like Friday, Saturday night. If you can hit those times, set a schedule, it'll really help you, you know, make more money. The third tip, use a sign-on bonus. If you're a new driver, you can potentially get a sign-on bonus or guarantee up to $1,000. Isn't that crazy? Kevin, filming me?
That is insane.
Yeah, so you want to use a sign-on bonus. If you're thinking about driving for Uber or even for Lyft, you know, a little bonus one, use the links in the description. You get your bonus up to $1,000. Tip number 4, this helps me a lot, is you want to set a weekly goal or even a daily goal. For me, my daily goal is $273. Why? Because that translates into $100,000 per year. You know, whatever your goal might be, just write it down, set it down, maybe even keep it on your dashboard or on your phone so your passengers can't see. And it really helps you out when you're driving throughout the day. You're like, oh, I'm 10% there, 20% there. And then at the end of the day, if you do hit your goal, you know, set your goal a little bit high so you do have to reach for it, but it does help a lot. Tip number 5 is start driving part-time before you start driving full-time. So I get this question a lot, like from new drivers. Hey, I'm thinking about starting driving. Should I quit my job and start driving Uber full-time? And my answer is usually no. If you can, work your normal job and then drive Uber part-time after work or before work, you know, depending on when you work, and on the weekends. It's a great way to test out, you know, is Uber right for me? Because it isn't right for everyone. And not everyone can really handle driving, you know, 40, 50 hours a week. I personally cannot, so I just do it part-time. But make sure if you're starting out, drive part-time before full-time. Tip number 6 is don't drive around looking for rides. After you drop off a passenger and you know you don't have a ride request, don't drive around too much looking for more rides. Unless you're like literally in the middle of nowhere, try to, you know, drive to like a busy spot and just park your car and wait for your ride to come. That way you're not wasting any gas at all. And you could potentially be driving away from passengers. So just stick to there and trust me, the rides will come. Tip number 7 is that you can make extra money with these extra apps specifically for rideshare drivers to make more money. There's an app called Cargo. It's like a little box with food inside and your passengers can buy food from you through the Cargo app. Or there's even a bunch of free samples, and every time someone takes a free sample, you get like $1. So this can really add up. There's another app called Stereo that pays you to play music, Play Octopus, those little tablets in the back seat, and Rapify. You know, I personally like my car completely clean, but if you want, you can put like big ads on your car. It's called Rapify, and people make like $300-400 extra bucks a month. So people are actually paying for their car with Rapify. So check out those apps. I'll leave the links in the description. Tip number 8. This is super important. I didn't know this at all when I first started driving, but make sure you track all of your miles and all of your expenses. And Uber and Lyft already track your miles in the app, But the thing that they don't do is that they only track the miles during your trip. So you want to track, you know, when you're driving in between trips, or when you're going, say you want to, you know, drive to like a very popular place. Those are all miles that are tax deductible. And track all your receipts. You know, you can use MileIQ to track your miles. I think it's only like $6 a month, and that's $6, you know, you get 58 cents back per mile. So you're gonna save thousands of dollars. So an extra $6 a month is totally worth it. And that's a tax write-off too, you know. Get creative with your tax expenses. Tip number 9, this is important. A lot of people do not do this. I actually didn't do this when I first signed up, but it's get rideshare insurance. If I get into an accident in this car, you know, this is a pretty expensive car. I actually didn't have rideshare insurance when I first started. And fortunately, I didn't get into any major accidents. But even if you get into like a fender bender and your insurance finds out you were driving for Uber, they will not pay for it. And Uber's their Uber's deductible is like at least $1,000. So if you want like a deductible that's like $300 or $500, which is pretty normal, ask your insurance or tell your insurance, you know, hey, I'm thinking about driving for rideshare. Can I add that onto my plan? And you might need to call around a few places, because not every insurance agency actually does rideshare insurance. That way you're covered for any accidents at all, and you're doing the safe way. Tip number 10, this is super important for me. I know I personally love listening to music, and when I'm driving around and I'm listening to my favorite song, it really helps the day go by faster and more enjoyable. So what I do is I have like 5 playlists. I have like upbeat playlists for like when I'm picking up, you know, party passengers. I have like, usually I just listen to like soft acoustic music, because most people do enjoy listening to quiet, soft acoustic music, but make like 3 or 4 playlists, and you know, that way you can switch out throughout the day. Tip number 11, know the airport rules. Unfortunately, when you're driving for rideshare, picking up at airports, there's tons of different rules. Like, you can't pick up anywhere. You have to go to the designated spot to pick up passengers. And you can drop off, you know, usually at anywhere, and you also need like a placard, an airport placard. And if you don't have a placard, you can get a ticket of like $2,000. It's crazy. This is not a ticket from Uber. This is a ticket from the actual airport, because for security purposes and stuff. Tip number 12, never pick up unaccompanied minors. For whatever reason, it's pretty normal that a lot of Uber drivers just pick up unaccompanied minors. So like parents just now are using Uber to take their kids to soccer practice or even to school. And it's like, sometimes I get ride requests from an elementary school. I'm like, are you serious? And that's totally illegal. You can get deactivated for that. If you get into an accident, God forbid, you can get in some serious trouble. And, you know, you don't want to get deactivated either. So never pick up an unaccompanied minor. Bonus tip for that one, if you do get a request from an unaccompanied minor, you can just have the kid call their parent and be like, you know, you need to cancel. That way you get your $5 cancellation fee. Next tip is don't take cash rides. Sometimes, every once in a while, you run into this situation where someone's like, oh, I don't have the app, or I don't know, can you just take cash? And that's against Uber's terms of service, because you're pretty much stealing that customer. And again, for insurance reasons, if you do get into an accident and you're taking somebody in exchange for cash, your insurance won't cover it, Uber's insurance won't cover it, Lyft's insurance won't cover it. You're on your own for that payment. So if you crash into like, I don't know, a Maserati, or like even like a Lexus or something, even just any car, you know, you're paying for all that out of pocket. So don't take cash rides. And for safety reasons, you know, you don't know who that person is. It's not tracked through the app at all. Tip number 14, 14th tip, guys, is do not start the trip until all of your passengers are in the car. Unfortunately, like sometimes people will come in with like babies and there's no car seats, there's no booster seats if they're like a toddler, or they have like way too many passengers. And if you start the trip before, then you're like stuck, and now they can report you, give you a cancellation, or give you a bad rating. But if you never start the trip to begin with, you can just, you know, not start the trip and say, hey, I can't accept you. So don't start the trip until everyone's inside, buckled up and ready to go. Tip number 15, this helps me a lot just staying balanced. I mean, you can't work forever. So, you know, like in a day. So make sure you take a lot of breaks and get enough sleep. That's just super important. You know, that's why, like, when you're working a normal job, you know, you're allowed to take a break every 2 hours, unless you're like a nurse or something. You have to work like 24 hours straight. But most jobs, you know, you get a 15-minute break and then a lunch break. So take those breaks, you know, they really help out. Get out, stretch your legs, walk around, you know, do some hot yoga, do some stretches. This is my favorite stretch right here. Oh, really feel the burn. Just get out, do some stretches, you know, maybe some jumping jacks, get the blood flowing, and that'll help you drive a lot longer, actually, because in the long run, you know, you're not like 4 hours in, like, oh my God, I'm so stiff, I need to go home. So yeah, get your breaks in and get enough sleep so you're not drowsy driving. Tip number 16, greet your passengers with a smile. Everyone loves a great smile. I don't know what it is, it's kind of contagious. If someone comes up to you and they're like, hey, how are you? Where are you going today? Or let's go to your destination, versus, are you Peter? And you're like, yeah, I'm Peter, but what's wrong with you? Like, you want to greet them with a smile, and it, you know, leads to better ratings, better tips, just overall more comfortable experience and enjoyable experience. And people tip more if you smile with them, because they're going to be happier. And I said this in a previous video, but if you're not feeling happy, put on a fake smile, then somebody leaves you a bigger tip because they, you know, you're happier. That will make you smile. So it's a full circle, you know. All right, next tip, number 17, guys, we're almost done, is after every single ride, come follow me. After every single ride, guys, I think it's open. What I do is you want to check your back seat and make sure nobody left anything inside of your car. As you can see here, you know, there's nothing left in the back seat. But if somebody does leave something in the back seat, you know, you don't want to, you know, be responsible for that. Or if they do, then you have to return the next day or then later that night. It's just a hassle. So tip number 18, this one goes along with that. If somebody leaves their phone in your car, with an iPhone especially, you want to turn the phone off, because there's certain cases where passengers will actually track you through the app to get their phone back, and some cases where they even show up to your house. So turn the phone off so they can't track you through the GPS, like on Find My iPhone. All right, tip number 19. This is really important. I've made this mistake way too many times, is don't wait for your passengers. Like, if your passenger wants to go to the drive-thru and there's like, you know, it's gonna take like 20-30 minutes, or your passenger, I had a passenger one time, I ended up waiting for her for like 30 minutes because she wanted to go shopping in Target, and she left her bike in my car. I shouldn't have put the bike in my car to begin with, but after it was all said and done, I think I made like $1 while I was waiting for her for like 30 minutes. So don't wait, just tell them, hey, you know, I don't get paid for waiting, I'll just drop you off and you order a new one. All right, guys, that goes with like grocery stores too. The next one, number 20, almost done, well, pretty much are done now, is drive slowly. This is really important, guys. Drive slowly, follow the speed limit. You know, when you pull up to a red light, you know, maybe it even is legal to turn right, just, you know, calm down, wait for the light to turn green. You don't want your passengers to like feel in danger, so just drive cautiously when you pull up. This is like with yellow lights too. You don't need to speed through the yellow light like, oh, I gotta make it. Just calm down, wait. You know, don't drive like, you know, a turtle. Don't drive too slow, but, you know, drive the speed limit. Your passengers will appreciate that. That's the difference between driving like a chauffeur and like a taxi. You want to be more like a chauffeur, where you're just, you know, slow to accelerate. Your passengers feel all smooth and safe. And yeah, that's it, guys. Those are my 20 tips for new Uber drivers. If you have any of your own tips, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Again, this has been another episode of the Rideshare Hub. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, if you learned something new. Leave a comment down below. Did you learn anything new? Or is there anything that I left out? And make sure to subscribe so you never miss another video on Uber and Lyft. This is the best #1 rideshare channel for Uber and Lyft drivers in the world, guys. So you're witnessing history right now. The best channel in the world. All right, guys, thank you so much. Talk to y'all soon. Get out there, make some money, and stay safe. Drive smart, guys. Bye.